Okay, my friends, just want to touch base with everybody real quick. I know that Dr. Berg has already talked to you guys about maps, and I also hope she has gone ahead and talked to you about the computer lab schedule. If she has not done those two things, I'm going to suggest you pause this and let her address those two issues because those are the larger issues that we need to talk about today. Okay, so moving on to something else I promised to talk about. I wanted to talk to you about uploading your lesson plans in OneNote. I'm going to show you how to do that in the desktop version, the app version, and I'm going to show you how to do that on the internet version. So allow me to do both. First of all, I'm going to show you in the app because that's the easiest. All right, so every one of you has your own personal file within OneNote. Now, if you notice on mine, I can see all of these files. That's because I see everybody's individual file, but you'll only be able to see your individual file. So let's talk about how this would work for, say, I want to use somebody who doesn't actually work here anymore because it's easy that way. I'm going to talk about Cynthia Briles. So here's Cynthia Briles. I'm going to plug on hers, and notice she's already got 4 tabs: communication evidence, evidence of differentiation, lesson plans, and seating charts. Under lesson plans, all right, now I clicked on that tab. You can do this however you want. I would do it like this. My suggestion would be you would do, oh, I'd already uploaded something in there. Sorry, let me cut that. All right, I would recommend that you do it like this. You say lesson plans. I mean, you don't have to do that. You can just enter the date, 8.10.2020, or whatever you want to add. Okay, however you want to designate it. Then I'm going to show you how easy this is. You're never going to believe it. You go to Insert, and you can choose, do you want it to be a printout of what you're going to do, or do you just want it to be an attachment? So if you want it to be a printout, you go to Printout, and you simply pick, I'm going to bring it over here so you can see it. You simply pick the file. I want to do this file. I know it's not a lesson plan, but you get the idea. And I can either double click it or I can highlight it and click Insert. Either. Give OneNote about, I don't know, 5-6 seconds. If it asks you any questions, just say yes. And there you go. There's the schedules, okay, or whatever you're going to print. Now I'm going to undo that. All right, let's say you want to do it this way. Maybe this is how you want to organize it. Month of August. You don't have to put that. August. And you can just go to right here and hit File Attachment. And if this is your August 10th through August, what does that be, 14th lesson plans, you just do this, Attach File, and it's just going to put the file there. And then next week, you would go to File Attachment, and you would say, you would attach your file. Let's just say that's what the file is. Insert, you tell it you just want to attach the file. And then the next week, you want to attach your file. And all of these are lesson plans week after week after week. You would just click on the file you want to add, attach file. And you can see that it's 3 weeks, if these were lesson plans, that we've added right there. And if you mess up, oh wow, it's really hard to correct it. I'm being facetious. You just do that. You can also put your seating charts here as well. I am going to be moving seating charts. You can still put it here. I'm going to have it duplicate automatically to another file so that the specials teachers have access to that as well. All right, but let's say you're at home and you want to upload your lesson plans and you're on the online version. It looks kind of like this, right? So let's just say that I am in your folder. I have clicked on lesson plans. Hope everybody can see what I'm doing here. I clicked on a name. I'll show you. Clicked on a name. It should open up lesson plans. All right. And I need to add a lesson plan. Well, let's say I'm going to do this week's 8.10.2020. And I am going to get off that line. And as soon as I get off the header line, notice it named it for me. As soon as I got off the header line, I can hit Insert. I want to do the same thing. I'm going to insert a file. See how it popped up? Insert a file. I'm going to insert an attachment or a printout. I'm just going to do an attachment for now. I got to choose the file. I'm going to use this one right here. And I can click Open. I can click Insert. It's a few more clicks, but it works exactly the same. Let's say I was going to insert a file. But this one I want to insert a printout. I'm going to choose right here. Let's see. Let's do the Mission and Vision. And I'm going to double click it. And I'm going to insert it. There it is. All right, now I want you to see something. This is on the online version. I am in Caitlin Bratton's lesson plans. I'm going to go to the desktop version. Let me go to Caitlin Bratton, lesson plans. Hopefully if we give it just a few seconds, it should start popping up. Boom, there it is. And that means the reason that's important, you're like, well, you're on the same computer there, Mayfield. But the reason it's important is because it shows you that it has already gone through the internet and it is now on the individual things. Now, I don't want to do that to Caitlin Bratton's page. So I'm going to go right here and you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to delete the whole page. Boom, page is gone. All right. So there you go. And that is all there is to uploading your lesson plans. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was the playground. So let's hit that because I'm changing a few things in regard to the playground that hopefully will make your lives much, much easier. Okay, so we are getting some tables in and some other things to help with maybe a little bit of shade with umbrellas, things like that. But what's going to happen is we're going to put in a new kind of barrier. The silk fence, evidently Mother Nature did not care for our silk fencing because it did everything it could Sunday night to tear that down. So we have got to change our plan here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little, it's going to be, I'm going to call it chain link, but it's not chain link. You'll have to see it. Looks more like stanchions at the movie theater, little barriers here. But this is all the big playground at the on the 500 all beside first grade. So here's what I'm going to tell you about it. We already had it divided up with a little playground and then a big playground. And the big playground had the small piece of play equipment and a set of swings. The little playground had the big piece of play equipment and a set of swings. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to change how you guys are going to the playground on your days that you're playing on the lunchroom side. We are now going to transform this side of the playground over here, the north side of the playground, to the lunchroom side playground. I know that's very confusing, so let me say that differently. That small little playground that is next to the lunchroom is now going to magically transform to the small little playground on the right side of the big playground. We're going to partition that off so that it is obvious. We can't do that till the partitions arrive. So we are probably going to start that on Monday. That's going to be our plan, is to start this on Monday. The reason I want to change it is several fold. One, it creates a bottleneck in getting to the outside playground on the lunchroom side. There's just too much traffic going on over there. There's too many people going and coming and all that stuff. Now, if you still want to play over there, like if you're pre-K and you want to play over there, you can, but you're going to lose some of the balls and things because I'm going to have them put over here. The balls, frisbees, jump ropes, etc. But if you want to go over there and do clay, sidewalk chalk and stuff like that, that's 100% fine. But at any rate, here was the reason I wanted to do it. So I had several. The first reason was I didn't like that bottleneck with people trying to go to art, people trying to go to the lunchroom, and people trying to get either on or off the playground. It was never designed to do that in my layout, and that was painfully obvious in the way it kind of bottlenecked there and created too many people in too small a space, especially in this COVID environment. So I wanted to change that. Secondly, I didn't realize when I first did it, and it was dumb on my part, but I figured it out, that there was going to be, in many cases, first grade, I'm looking at you, where you were going to have a teacher by themselves. I absolutely despise that. Because if something were to happen and you were the teacher by yourself, you have no adult to help you. I can't abide by that. I can't let it go because it's not safe. I did something to try to make it safer for COVID, but in such an effort to separate us in COVID, I'm afraid I made it inappropriate for us in our general safety. So I'm going to go back and rectify that. So everybody will be on the same playground. It'll just be divided into 4 sections. The rotation will remain the same. If you are supposed to be on the lunchroom side, that means you'll be on this small side over here. If you are supposed to be on the big playground, that means you'll still be in the same 2 sections over here. Okay? Now, and I do have a third reason that I wanted to go over real quick, and that is your parapros. Now, it's all interrelated here, I promise. So I'm going to hit this very quickly here. I want you to be good to your paras. Your paras do a lot for us. I ask a lot of our paras, and this is just something that I want to ask pre-K, kinder, to special ed. Please go back and talk to your folks about. We're going to ask paras, largely there'll be a few exceptions, but for the most part, they're now coming in at 8:15 and they're leaving around 4:15. I want to tell you this, that is an 8-hour day. Paras can only work 7.5 hours. That means they have to take a 30-minute break during the day. Please do not go back and tell your paras that I said they have to document a 30-minute break. I want them to actually take a 30-minute break during the day. They deserve that. I want them to get 30 minutes, not having to make copies, not having to deal with children, not having to do things. They need a 30-minute break during the day. I am not asking them to document something that didn't happen. I want them to take a 30-minute break during the day. That'll give them 7.5 hours a day. Now you're going to say, well, when are they going to take that break? I need them all the time. I totally get it. That's why I'm going to make sure there's at least 3, if not 4 of you out here on the playground at all times. So if I'm a kindergarten teacher and my team is out there with me and there are 3 of us, my paras can take the break during recess because I have 3 adults on the playground. If I'm a pre-K teacher, my paras can take their break during one of our recess times because there are 4 adults on the playground. Now, let me tell you something for pre-K that I think would be very, very helpful. So Ms. Winnie-Poor and Ms. Howe, if I have your attention, please, I would split it. You're doing 2 30-minute recesses, I believe. So what I would do is during one of the 30-minute recesses, I would let 2 paras take their break. That would put 6 of y'all on the playground. And during the other 30-minute recess, I'd let the other 2 paras take a break, again giving you 6 adults on the playground. That is plenty of adults to watch the 80 children that are in pre-K. So at any rate, I feel like that's a good idea. They don't have to take their break during recess. If you've got another point in the day that you would like them to take it, that is fine. But I strongly, strongly, strongly recommend that you consider that break during recess, and that needs to start as quickly as we possibly can. If those stanchions come in early, or if we can divide the playground up early, we will start earlier. But I really hope this is going to make all of your lives a little easier. I feel like it will. Okay, and the last thing I want to say is, again, thank you to everybody for your wonderful attitudes toward everything. It has been a good start. It has been a tough start. There have been things that didn't go well. There have been things that could have been better. There have been things that just were tough because of COVID and because of a new building. And you know what? We have worked through a lot of that. We've got a lot to go. It is probably going to take us a year before we start to fully feel satisfied that we are truly working and at maximum capacity in this building. But I want to tell you a conversation we had today, and this goes back to the computer lab. And so, like I said, everything's kind of interrelated. But I wanted to tell you guys that we were looking at the computer lab. And at first, if Dr. Berg's already told you this, I apologize. We were looking at doing all of you twice a week in the computer lab. And we started looking at, you were going to have to miss, there was one teacher in particular, because of the way her schedule laid out, she was going to have to miss ELA twice a week to go to the computer lab, an hour of ELA twice a week. And remember I told you the mission statement's a lot more than words on a piece of paper. I want to show you an example of that. I got to thinking, our mission is that all students will master foundational skills. Doesn't say anything about all students will master computer skills. Foundational skills. Because of our mission, I cannot tell a teacher they have to miss ELA twice in a week to do computer work. It's not foundational. That's not in our mission. But what I could do is I could fix it where in 2nd grade, you guys were going to miss 1 point of that instruction a week, and also 1 section of science or social studies a week. Those are not foundational skills, so I felt like that was okay for you to miss that once a week. So look at the schedule, see what you think, and talk to folks. But I wanted you to see how I actually put that through my little litmus test of, is this what we're doing? And because we had a thing in here that we were going to master foundational skills, I felt like that was more important to not lose ELA twice in a week, because although we want to be prepared for the future, the foundational skills trumped my thinking there. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. So thank you again for your positive attitudes. I wanted to show you an example of what I was talking about a few weeks ago when I was talking about how the mission guides my thinking. I also wanted to tell you guys, something we want to be careful of. This is not happening. I'm so glad it's not happening, but I just want to encourage you. A bad attitude is a cancer. And when it starts, it's